Mary Queen of Scots by Alexander MacKendrick and J. Presson Allen. Adapted by Peter Atedgi, Hope Dixon Leach and Lawrence Bowen.
Two clans at war, Hepburn against Douglas. Two religions in conflict, Protestant against Catholic. Two countries about to collide, England and Scotland. And at the heart of it all, Mary, Queen of Scots. She is 23. To control her and her future child is to control the future, which begins here at a junction in the road from Dunbar to Edinburgh on a wet and windy day in March. Are approaching. Closer to us is a small dry stone hut or bothy. Asleep in the corner is a man, William Maitland, Secretary of State. As the horses grow nearer, there is a whistle from further down the road, a signal to Maitland from one of his servants positioned on the route. Right, like a man waking from a nightmare.
Is she... What's that?
Maitland gets up, moving out into the light and picking his way through nettles and brambles onto the road. Beware of Maitland. Watch him carefully as he comes up close. Very important to us. Murray, Mary's brother. He is a vain and ambitious man. To historians, he is an illegitimate Stuart who pretended to the throne. To us, therefore, he is a pretentious bastard. He was not expecting to see Maitland here on the road. And as he approaches them, Murray watches, apprehensive.
What's the matter? Nothing. Nothing. I need to talk to you. We'll get your horse then. We can talk as we go. No. I think you should wait. Wait? Why? Morton's men were to lock the gates at sundown. If we don't go now, we'll not be there till...
I think it would be more sensible if you were not seen in the town until tomorrow.
Why?
Ritzy was in her rooms tonight. They are going to seize him there.
I know.
It's liable to be an ugly business. She's 7 months pregnant. If it goes badly, then you must have no hand in it. She's your half-sister, your own flesh and blood. If she's hurt, then the Douglas must take the blame for it.
I told them I would be there. If I'm not...
Morton will still go through with it.
Are you sure?
Yes. He has to. His men are already moving inside the walls.
The palace than a temporary fort. The place is dirty. Cowpats, old sacks, poverty-stricken retainers, mongrel dogs, and weather that makes the smoke from the chimneys swirl around the rough and muddy courtyard. Kerr, who is conspiring with Maitland and Morton, is a rat of a man. He comes swiftly through the main gate with 4 or 5 followers and henchmen.
Tell the man to shut the gates! Shut them, are you deaf?
But it's not time yet.
Give us the keys, man!
I can't shut the gates when the folks are still at their suppers.
Give us the keys.
The youth pouring himself a drink is Mary's husband, Henry Darnley. He is 22, tall and extremely good-looking, with an educated, arrogant manner. He is much better dressed than the Scotsmen in his company, who include the chief of the Douglas clan, the Earl of Morton, and another conspirator, the Earl of Ruthven, an old man risen from a sickbed to be present, feverish and drinking heavily.
First, we remove Ritzy from the company. Bring him down here. He'll get a fair hearing. She can be informed of our decision, quite coldly, after it's over.
I have the key.
Murray with you?
No, he hasn't arrived yet.
There was no need to send for him in the first place. This is done on my authority. Isn't that enough?
Aye, more than enough.
Very well, then. I lead the way. And the rest of you follow. And I want no violence. You understand?
Of course.
She's... No proof of that.
What proof do you want? If you've not seen them together, we have to crawl on our bellies to the little Italian is.
You ready, Donnelly? Take your lead from me. And remember, I'll deal with her. Leave that part to me.
Morton has picked up a knife in an ornate sheath which he hands to Darnley.
Just in case, sir.
Darnley hesitates before accepting it. Small, claustrophobic chambers of the northwest tower of Holyrood. The chambers of the Queen. The walls are hung with French tapestries. An informal supper is being served, and guests are being serenaded by her private secretary, David Rizzio, as Darnley enters.
We didn't know you'd be joining us.
Mary Stuart may be the Queen of Scots, but her accent betrays the fact she has lived most of her life in France.
Set another place for my husband.
I shan't eat.
Darnley is joined by the ill and mad old Ruthven, his sword drawn.
Qui est là?
Behind him, Kerr, a pistol in his hand, and the Earl of Morton.
Qui sont ces hommes?
And guests rise from the table.
Sit down, all of you. I have something to say.
Look at Rizzio. He knows. Fine, he knows.
And Rizzio does know. He backs away. Mary steps in front of him.
Non, restez. Je vous ordre. What do you want? Is he fevered? Put up your sword. Are you insane? Are you sick?
Sick of you and your fancy foreign friend there. We runty as.
I am a dead man. Sono finito. Sono morto.
Of it.
Is it me you want to kill? And my child?
The scene that follows is one of appalling confusion and terrifying savagery. Darnley knocks Kerr's hand away, putting his arms around his wife. And at this point, the Earl of Morton, who has come round the table behind Rizzio, strikes the first blow, knifing the Italian in the back. Kerr, shouting, seizes the wounded Rizzio to drag him from the supper room. Guests and servants reel back in shock. Among them, Mary's terrified ladies-in-waiting.
Get out of here! Get out of here, you fucking hands!
The audience chamber, followed by Ruthven and Darnley, now white as a sheet. He throws Rizzio's body down and then strikes the fatal blow to finish him off. As Mary Stuart gets slowly to her feet, we are aware now for the first time that she is heavy with child. She supports herself by leaning against the stone wall, aware that her hand is wet and sticky. She moves inch by inch towards the door into the bedroom, calling on her last resources of courage and strength. In the audience chamber, Morton has joined the murderers.
You lied to me. You lied. There was to be no violence. We said no violence up here. You lied.
Listen.
They cross to the window. Outside, fighting has broken out between the Douglas clan who oppose Mary's reign and the Hepburns who support the Queen.
Was over in the hall. Take a dozen men in with you, but mind you don't hurt anyone else. It's just Bothwell that matters. He's got to be held.
Mary also watches the skirmish from the window of her bedchamber. One figure is distinguished by the fact that his enemies seem more afraid of him than the others. This is James Bothwell, leader of the Hepburn clan and self-declared protector of Mary. Cornered, he turns and with agility climbs the inside of the closed gates, vanishing over the top. Enters Mary's bedchamber unsteadily, holding a decanter of wine.
Come away from there, or I'll cut you into collops and throw the bits out the window.
Mary looks up as her young husband Darnley stumbles in from the audience chamber. He is still half hysterical, without purpose. 2 paces into the room, he stops, seeing Mary. They face each other in silence. Then, sick and ashamed, he drops his eyes, turns, and goes out.
You wanted to kill her as well! She's not been harmed. No one touched her except yourself.
She's in no danger, I promise.
You promised me before! It's no matter what we promised! Bothwell and his Hepburn thieves are out. Use the mob to break through the gates and he'll come in with them. You have to speak to them. Because it's your throat Bothwell will cut first. You led us up there, remember? This is done in your name.
Whatever has been done, we're in this together.
You get to the gate, son. You speak prettily to them. Damn quick. Tell them your wife's in no danger. What do I say?
Mary sinks to her knees beside the bed, trying to block out Ruthven's talking.
On her own head, you did, and that's a fact. It's right enough when they say it was an ill day for Scotland when you set foot at Leith with all your fancy French followers. Then you marry an Englishman that's more woman than man and pick a wee runt of an Italian for your pleasure. What about your own kin? Your own brother Murray?
Where is Murray?
Ah, what's that to ye?
It was the child you wanted dead, wasn't it?
Hold your tongue!
What do you mean to do with me now?
There goes your husband now. They're taking him up on the wall.
My wife is safe. She's in her rooms.
Bring her down and let us see her.
Safe.
Morton? Care? Who else? How many of you are there? Who's the leader of it? Who planned it?
And the Lord have mercy on you this night through.
Mary stands. Her arms fold themselves about her body, protecting the unborn child. As we move very close to her face, however, we see that the eyes are bright, concentrated on thought. She has begun to analyze the plot against her, to search for some small loophole of escape. Down below, at the castle gate, we discover the figure of a man. Like Mary in the tower, he also stands quite still in the shadow of the wall. It is Maitland, who we met on the Dunbar Road earlier. He observes as Kerr comes out of the door in the base of the tower, followed by Morton and 2 men who carry Rizzio's corpse.
Over there. Pitch him under the wall.
Maitland, what in hell is this? Where have you been? Where's Murray?
Is she dead too?
Dead? No. She's asking questions and so am I. Where's Murray?
He'll be here.
When?
Where have you put her? Still in her rooms, alone?
Aye, but...
Excellent. Murray should be here by sundown. Come out to Kirkfields tomorrow morning. We can talk about it then.
On one side by the stone dike of an orchard, and on the other by the old Flodden Wall built to protect the town of Edinburgh. Inside the wall, and almost a part of it, is a 2-storey house called Kirkfields. In a small, low-ceilinged room, Mary's brother Murray argues with the Earl of Morton under the ever-watchful eye of Maitland, who sits writing.
We were delayed.
You got in last night, Murray. I'm not that stupid. I've seen your horses down there in the yard, fed and rested. I'd say you got in quite early yesterday evening. And then you decided you'd leave Big Morton here and the Douglases to do the dirty work. Is that true?
We did get in last night, but...
What time?
There's no mystery. I was delayed. I persuaded him that it would be better to distance himself from...
Maitland breaks off as Kerr enters.
Yes?
Bothwell was halfway to the border before it was daylight. And the Hepburns are putting out the word that you're meaning to have her killed.
Exactly. Bothwell is riding up and down the countryside calling you murderers. He'll have all his horde of Hepburn savages here by tomorrow. Then he'll make a great proclamation to the townsfolk, calling on them to rescue a pregnant girl who's in danger of her life. That's what you have to forestall, Murray.
How?
Make her sign this. It is a pardon for Morton.
What makes you think she'll sign it?
Because Murray will persuade her. The girl is in terror for her life. She's alone. Murray will arrive. Remember, he has had no part of the assault against her. He has learned that she is in danger, and he has come at once to her rescue. He urges her to sign.
Sounds like sense to me.
Aye, with him it always does, to begin with.
Mary's bedroom is unlocked. As Mary Seaton enters, she bursts into tears, runs to embrace Mary. Her other maids in waiting follow. Morton and Mary's brother Murray enter her apartments. Morton goes straight across to her bedroom and enters, while Murray hangs back outside, nervous.
My brother is here, I saw. Am I to be allowed to see him?
Of course.
Then you might prefer that I do not receive him in this dress.
Coldly she shows her skirt stained with Rizzio's blood. Morton avoids her eyes.
If you'll allow me a few moments' privacy, Fleming, ask if they may give me water to wash. Seton, Livingston, fetch me clean linen. Seton, please.
Seaton comes to help her unfasten the dress. Morton is decent enough to turn away. This is what Mary needs.
Find my husband.
Bedroom. Mary Seaton slips out on Mary's secret errand.
Your brother's here now. We sent for him last night and he's just arrived. Oh, and this. We've prepared this for you to sign.
As he hands her the paper, Murray enters the room, immediately putting on his act.
I came as soon as I heard of this. They swore to me you'd not been ill-treated. But I've just learned that you...
Yes, Seton told me. I'm very grateful. Have you read this document?
No, but Morton tells me that he wants you to sign a pardon for...
For the murder. Since he's brought you here, I presume Morton expects you to advise me to do what he asks.
Then he's wrong. I've warned Morton. Nothing excuses this. I've no position here. You know that. I'm just here at my own risk. But I hold him responsible.
I am not here to make excuses. What's done is done, and we had enough provocation. Ask her husband. If you've come here to help her, then tell her to sign that, because the rest of them downstairs won't let her out of here until she does.
Morton storms out in a deliberate display of anger. Outside, Maitland is still on the staircase. Morton joins him, dropping the act.
She read it? Not yet. I left it with her. Now it's up to Murray.
She must sign it quickly tonight. How did she look? She must be very tired.
She still has her wits about her. She's,
Morton breaks off because he has noticed another of Mary's maids in waiting, Fleming, approaching from below. Maitland steps over to her.
Come over here.
Maitland fingers the hair at the back of her neck. She is clearly his mistress.
Who was it that sent for Murray? Was it you? Why?
Why not?
Why did you send for her brother? He's treacherous.
He can help her against Morton and the Douglas.
You're lying to me.
Oh.
Maitland moves his hand over the skin of her neck.
No,
Fleming moves away from him.
that's all I am to you, someone to help you spy on her. You're lying, and I'm afraid for her.
In her audience room, Mary is examining the document as her brother seeks to influence her.
They blame your husband, of course. That boy is irresponsible, insanely jealous. Apparently he persuaded them that... Oh, it's none of my concern. I told them that. I wouldn't listen.
Who drew up this document?
I don't know. They had it ready when I arrived. They've asked me to intercede for them. I think they're afraid now, and Morton, at least, regrets his part.
Afraid? Of whom? Of Bothwell?
No, we can't expect any help there, I'm sorry to say.
He seems to have gone back to the borders. Our position is very weak.
You think I should sign this, then? Leave it with me.
I don't think we can afford to make them wait. I'm worried for you. I'm worried for the child. If there is anything in that document...
I'm very tired. You'll have to leave it with me. Till tomorrow.
Mary gives him no chance to press further as she turns and goes back to the bedroom. Left alone, Murray is at a loss, aware that he has not achieved the result desired by Maitland. In her bedroom, Mary lights a candle and sits down to examine the paper closely. We see that she is not quite as exhausted as she would have her brother believe. She reads very carefully.
Why? Didn't I make it clear enough? We need that thing signed now.
She said tomorrow.
Tomorrow Bothwell will spend a day raising troops. It won't take him longer than that. He'll be on the move before nightfall.
I guarantee that she will sign it tomorrow.
After a moment, she begins to unfasten her hair. It falls loose. We are reminded that this girl is younger than the men who are intent on destroying her. Younger than them all, except one, whom she is now preparing to seduce. As Darnley enters the room, Mary stands by the bed. She now wears a loose dressing robe and her feet are bare.
You're going to beg me to help you, then save your energy. I had to threaten that boy out there before he let me in. That's their opinion of me now. I'm not even trusted with the keys.
Please, lock the door.
Your brother can do more to protect you than I can.
They brought me this. They want me to sign it.
What is it?
A pardon? For Morton.
You better sign it. You know what they can do.
Harry.
And before you begin any appeal to me, let's get this straight. I'm not asking for your pardon. I don't regret the final result of last night's performance, though it wasn't carried out as I intended.
Do you still believe this child isn't yours?
I'm not sure I care. But why should I have any reason to think differently since last night?
When did my brother arrive?
Murray? I don't know why.
They want me to believe they sent for him. Afterwards. I don't believe it. Murray was here earlier and he knew all about it beforehand. Didn't he? Tell me.
Yes, he knew of it.
Through Maitland?
Maitland was always in touch with him. And we had letters from him in England.
I was sure of it.
Does it matter?
Read this. Read it all. Here. It says, I pardon them, admitting the justice of their complaints against me. Don't you see what that means? I admit that Rizzio slept in that bed, that that baby is possibly not yours. And who do you think that suits? Not Morton, not you. Murray, my brother, who was regent in Scotland while I was a child in France. If they can disgrace me, declare our baby illegitimate, he can be regent again. Murray has been in from the start. And Maitland, he drew up this paper.
Oh, you're clever. Cleverer than I have been.
That's why they had to make you believe this child wasn't yours. You were the excuse to attack me and the child. Our child, Harry. It is ours. Don't you know that? You think I slept with Rizzio?
Did you? He was in love with you?
That's not true.
Oh, come. That much was obvious to everybody. That's why the stories were believed. I told you that when I asked you to send him away.
You'd no reason to be jealous.
No. Not when they're all laughing behind my back. Whether you went to bed with him or not, you paid more attention to him than you did to me.
That's unfair. For weeks you came here, and we made love.
For you it had nothing to do with love, but more or less pleasure, and less, apparently, if it proves so dull within a month that you spend your evenings with a little Italian flatterer. I'll tell you why you married me, because I am weak. You needed a husband, for the sake of decency and because your brother was too powerful. You needed someone to play off against him. Isn't that it? You've had pleasure with men, and you never trusted them enough to give anything of yourself. And that is a thing you still have to learn, and God help you when you do. Don't.
Darnley, seeing her, is more... Mary continues to weep, but as we move very close to her, we see her desperate intelligence has begun to work again. She is fighting for her own survival and that of her child. Darnley has dropped the keys to her chambers on the bed. Mary's hand closes over them. Across the cobbled courtyard, alarm is spreading.
Get off now. We'll send more after you. Take the Dunbar Road. And hurry. She's out. Her room's empty.
How long has she been gone?
Oh, if Darnley's helped her, then they'll have horses.
She'll go south to meet with Bothwell.
Obviously. And if she does...
I told you, while I was still in England, that Bothwell was the danger. Bothwell should have been seized first.
He can raise a few hundred cutthroats and cattle thieves. He'll get no support for them in the town, as long as you two stand together. There's only one danger, it's right here in front of me, that one of you, loses his nerve.
You never miss the chance to show us how clumsy we are. But you can be too clever to be trusted, you see. So clever that you're outplayed by a lassie and her sot of a husband.
They were still here less than an hour ago. She's in no state to ride very far. The patrols are all out now on every road out of the town. I'm taking my own men out to support them.
I'll come with you. Murray?
Yes, coming.
In the sky. One of Douglas' patrols is riding very fast along the Dunbar Road. Their dark shapes are hardly visible, but they are clearly heard as they come across the moor. As they disappear, we see Darnley, acting as lookout, emerge nervously from some gorse bushes. Mary is in a state of collapse, barely conscious.
They'll be back this way in daylight. We'll have to ride over the moors.
I can't go on.
You must.
I'm thinking of the child.
So am I, damn you. And of you. If Moulton's men catch us here, where there are no witnesses...
Hide on yourself, then. See if you can reach...
No! I'll not leave you.
Appeared on the moor. The curlew call repeated is obviously a signal. In answer to it, some mounted men come up over the hill, joining those on foot and then galloping towards Darnley. He stands up and draws his sword. At the sight of him, the men check their horses.
Who are you?
Figures appear on all sides now.
Answer!
Mary tries to focus on them. They are barbaric-looking creatures, some barefoot, most of them dressed more in leather and in fur than in cloth. Those on foot move very rapidly through the heather, coming up fast, but then halting, hesitating.
Oh, that's her!
As they see the girl on the ground.
That's her right enough.
One man comes through them, dismounting in the same gesture with which he checks his horse. He drops heavily onto both knees and leans to look into her face. This is Bothwell.
Here, let me have her.
Lifting her up easily, Bothwell turns towards the men who have now begun to come closer.
God, you make fools out of the lot of us. Here I have over 1,000 lads coming up from the border, aching for the glory of a fight to set you free. They'll never turn out for me again.
Thank heaven it's you. We saw their patrols on the road just now. Oh, there must be more on the way. The Douglas. Is somebody watching out for them?
No, son. The Douglas are watching out for us.
A rainy day. Holyrood looks peculiarly miserable and deserted. Over at the gate, some of the Hepburns keep watch. Approaching them comes a solitary figure on a horse. It is Maitland. He halts, watching the Hepburns at the gate. Maitland knows he has to calculate his next move with the greatest care if he is to prevail. Now that Bothwell's clan has Mary in their care, the command of the palace has passed over to them. In Mary's audience chamber, her women are packing her belongings. Around the room are some very savage-looking men, some barefoot, all Hepburns. Bothwell walks in. The women watch him with nervousness and awe, keeping out of his path.
The boxes are packed.
And have them carried up the mile to the castle. She'll be staying there till the child is born.
Fleming, meanwhile, has intercepted Maitland in the guard hall. She pleads with him.
What are you doing here? You mustn't stay. They've had me up there for an hour asking questions. Give anything away but go now, quickly. They're giving you a chance. Escape.
Oh, to be sure. Blinking away.
Cloak and hangs it over the back of a chair in front of the fire, just as Bothwell and Paris enter. They catch sight of him immediately, but then act as if they are not aware of his presence. It is an extraordinary game of chess.
What of Kel?
He went with Morton.
Who does that leave?
Ruthven. He's sick again anyway. But he got out of Edinburgh.
And Maitland?
Maitland smiles at their game.
He left for a few hours. Turned back at Leith.
In fact, at Cramen.
He apparently changed his mind.
Was that girl telling you to change it again?
She did as you asked. She's a good girl, really she is.
Your friends, Morton and the rest of them, have run to England.
Oh, friendship's a relative thing.
It's obvious why they've done that, isn't it?
I think so.
Why have they? You with the mind.
Guilt.
Well, that gets them out of Edinburgh, but England's a different thing. It proves all this trouble starts in England. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, I should think you're right. It certainly looks like it. If Morton and Murray are accomplices in using English money...
Go on.
Then they're in a dangerously strong position.
Murray didn't go south with Morton at all. Did you know that?
They have been spreading rumours.
No rumour. I've seen the man himself. He didn't say anything about you. I've still to ask him that, but he's not loyal to his friend Morton. I doubt they would need to be very frightened of that team. You're lucky with that girl. Do you know what you should do?
I'm at your service.
No, not exactly. Service is a two-way thing, but just as a friend, I'll tell you. Get out of here. Find yourself a little hole and keep very quiet indeed, Maitland. Just pray that nobody finds you, or that I don't stumble on something you signed.
Oh, let me assure you.
Get out.
On the battlements of Edinburgh Castle, men are loading the cannon to celebrate the birth of Mary's child. In her private room, Mary is in bed to receive her visitors. Mary Seton brings in a shawl, presenting the newborn to its father, Darnley. The group that accompanies him includes Murray and a distinguished elderly Frenchman, Ducroc, ambassador to Scotland from Versailles. Darnley takes the child. The sight of the infant, only a few hours old, moves him unexpectedly. His face softens.
He's fair.
He is your son. They say he is like you.
Is he?
They say so.
Darnley returns the baby to his mother.
You've been absent from us for some weeks. Will you be staying in Edinburgh?
Are you asking me to stay?
As you wish. You're welcome. to have him near me now, or see him with the baby.
Outside, Darnley is much more deeply wounded than he has managed to let Mary see. Duke Rock comes up to join him.
She's had a difficult birth. They were afraid for both of them. Afterwards, women are frequently...
No, the Croc, you don't know her. Every move is planned. It was very deliberate. Till now, they only made a joke of me behind my back. Now it's to be in public. She has given them that lead.
No, you are wrong.
In front of you. In front of Murray. Murray's been forgiven quickly, hasn't he?
She has had a great deal to forgive on all sides.
Murray had more to do with the killing of Richard than I had. And I wasn't all that was intended on that night. I was used as the scapegoat. Don't they know that in France? Well, I've got friends there that I can go to, and I can show them evidence. If I decide to leave her and leave this miserable, treacherous country, I'll not come empty-handed. I have proof.
With a glare in his direction, Darnley turns on his heel and strides off. Murray, tense, watches the boy go. Darnley has made of him an implacable enemy. When there is sun in Scotland, it tends to come in September. Under the towers of Holyrood, to which Mary and her retinue are now returned, there is a formal garden. It is Mary's favourite spot. Here her women look after the baby that lies on a tartan blanket spread on the grass. Bothwell, in travelling clothes, squats beside the child. Its small hands cling to his outstretched finger with the tight hold of a very small infant. Bothwell laughs quietly. He does not hear the footstep on the grass behind his back. Mary, hesitating, studies the man and the infant for a moment. Her face softens with a private sadness. Bothwell turns and sees her. She disguises the expression.
He's got strong hands.
Yes.
You're in better fettle yourself, I think.
You've been away too long.
Aye. That's what I've been thinking myself.
Bothwell sees the figures of Maitland and Murray are there, having followed Mary. Cheerfully, he advances on the two men.
Well, now, it's been a while since we three were last together. We're only missing Morton to complete the picture, and I've been hearing that you and Morton have made peace, Murray.
We need your help.
I've had a letter from Harry's father. He says there is a ship arrived in the Clyde, an English ship. He thinks that Harry means to leave Scotland.
Oh, does he now?
Darnley must be stopped. If necessary, arrested.
Why? I'd say it was good riddance.
No. Darnley makes trouble here, but abroad, he can be a much greater danger.
The boy is wholly irresponsible. He's been heard threatening to kidnap the child for its protection.
There are enemies both in France and Britain who'll listen to all his grievances. He'll get more than sympathy. They'll lend him money and maybe troops as well, if they think there's a good excuse for intervention.
Darnley won't come into Holyrood while you two are still here. He's afraid of you. He thinks you're plotting against him. But then, as you say, he's full of wild ideas.
Well, it's essential to reassure him.
How do you propose we do that?
Maitland turns to Mary.
Only you can do that.
Mary lowers her eyes. To all of them, it's plain that Maitland is proposing that Mary resume conjugal relations with her husband.
If you can receive him here, if you can convince him of your protection, then it will be proof to the French ambassador that your husband's fears are imaginary.
I'll send for him.
Sick at heart, she turns and goes through the door in the wall where Seaton waits.
My husband is in the town. And ask him to come here. You can promise that he will not have to meet Murray or Maitland and that he need have no fears that he will be in any danger. Tell him I want to meet him. Here. In private.
Seaton stares at her. Mary turns away. She is trembling. Morning, Darnley lies in the bed that he has shared with his wife. But Mary is fully dressed. The door into the audience chamber outside is ajar.
Coming upstairs now.
Why? What do they want? Close the door, will you?
Dress yourself. I'll receive them first. You follow.
No, wait. Mary, did you...
They're waiting for us.
Mary goes through to the audience room. Darnley snatches a dressing gown. Mustering what dignity he can, he prepares to go out and join them. He enters the audience room in his dressing gown to find Maitland, Bothwell and Murray already gathered, along with Duke Croc.
If there is no truth in these stories, then they should be denied at once.
He'll have to answer you himself.
Is it true that you mean to leave Scotland?
Duke Croc has told us that he has no knowledge of it, but we have heard that there is an English ship ready to take you to France.
If you have any complaint against us, your wife, myself, any of us, I assure you that you can speak openly.
Darnley looks at Mary. She won't meet his eyes.
I have no complaint.
You're not meaning to leave, then?
The rumours have caused great alarm, not only among us in this room, in the country, and abroad. We'd be glad to hear you say they are untrue.
They are untrue.
Bothwell moves towards Duke Croc in order to nail the point securely.
That was plain enough.
Indeed.
I think you should write that to France to prevent misunderstandings.
Yes.
Duke Croc is a diplomat and nobody's fool. He looks from Bothwell to Maitland and then at Mary. She turns away into the bedroom following Darnley. Finishes his dressing. He is bitter and wholly disillusioned.
That worked well, didn't it? Was it your own idea, or did Maitland help?
Where are you going?
You succeeded there. That door of escape is shut in my face. Murray can take his time now. His grubby secrets are safe. He can bring back the Douglas to devise a more permanent way to silence me. Can't he? Fastidious than you are.
Ashamed of what she has been forced to do. In the audience chamber after the rest of the delegation leaves. He comes back to look at the closed door of the bedroom, listens, but hears no voices inside. Opens the door. Apparently empty. Then he sees her, crouched in the corner in abject misery, all dignity and self-respect destroyed. Presently she becomes aware of him and looks up, and sees in his face both pity and understanding. She continues to look at him. From this moment, they are totally in love. Whittingham, Northumberland, 2 months later. It is January and cold. Sheltering under the branch of a tree are 2 men, whose return to the narrative brings a sinister mood. They are Kerr and Morton, watching the arrival of a small party riding south from Edinburgh, all heavily wrapped up against the bitter wind.
Look who's brought with him. Bothwell himself.
Bothwell looks more serious than we have seen him hitherto. He has come recently to an important decision.
You've talked to her? He must be killed.
She will approve it. You can be assured of that.
I need it in writing.
That you won't get, Martin. You can't ask the girl to do that, her own husband.
Then I need to see her myself.
That's not possible. You've been pardoned, but you're not yet to be received at Holyrood. Not yet.
Oh, but I'm to take all the risk again. When it's done, they'll turn and point the finger at the Douglases once again. We're the scapegoat every time.
And rightly, because it's usually your doing.
Martin, that we have Bothwell's support now surely should reassure you.
It does, though I haven't yet heard what his reasons are.
Just say, I've begun to lose patience with the young man.
Where is he?
He's sick in Glasgow. It's smallpox, at least that's what they say it is.
The Holyrood rooms which once belonged to Darnley are now occupied by Maitland, who uses them as an office. Maitland is busy with his papers as the door opens and Mary bursts in.
You didn't tell me that you and Bothwell had visited Morton. Never mind. But now I have a message that I hope you can help me to understand.
We talked with Morton and he asked
No!
us to...
Maitland. I heard it from one of Morton's men thus. Morton understands from Bothwell and Maitland what is expected of him. But he asks that I myself give him a sign so that he may feel secure in his efforts to remove from my path the obstacle that hinders me.
Bothwell and Murray enter. Mary sees them but does not stop.
What does that mean?
No one speaks. Mary faces both Bothwell and Maitland. Then she turns on Murray.
James, when last I saw my husband, he told me that you meant to bring back Morton and that Morton's men would kill him. I took no notice of him then. I did not believe it. I hope I was right. If any man intends to use violence against the father of my child, then let him go carefully. For if I discover him, he shall be executed for it. And I will watch the beheading.
Is still in a state of great tension.
This is Maitland at work again, isn't it? On behalf of Murray. How deep are you in it?
Deep enough.
Why? Why?
In a casual caress. This is our first clear indication that Mary and Bothwell have become lovers.
No.
Mary steps back, refusing to submit to the caress.
Believe me, I meant exactly what I said.
Your husband has made a mortal enemy of your brother. Murray wants to get him out of the way.
Why? To keep Harry from telling me what I know already? That my brother helped to plan Davy's murder?
It was more intended on that occasion, and your husband wants you to know it. And he wants it known in England and France. He wants Murray exposed. To prevent that, Murray has to kill him.
But why are you with them?
Because the boy's making trouble, and he'll go on making trouble.
When will there be an end to all this murdering?
When there's one man in Scotland strong enough to keep these murdering clansmen from each other's throats.
So, you mean to kill my husband? To take his place?
Bothwell knows.
How do I know that you love me? That it isn't just ambition?
You're confused. There's a bit of both. I want you. I think you know that. I love you.
And you begin by killing? No. Harry is sick and helpless.
Why, he led a group of cutthroats into this room and tried to kill your child not yet born. And you as well. Why are you so eager to protect him from his enemies? What does he deserve from you?
I'll not see another man killed because he shared my bed.
Mary realizes what she has said.
Oh, I shouldn't have told you this. I didn't mean to. Does it matter to you?
Bothwell is actually more taken aback by the confession than he will admit. But he is in love with the girl. His answer is to put his arms about her with great tenderness. Nourished by his strength. Maitland's servant is lighting candles. Maitland is at his table writing, and Murray is by the fire and has obviously been waiting for some time. They react to the return of Bothwell, who comes slowly into the room. Closing the door, does Maitland speak?
You've been with her an hour.
She won't hear of it. And Murray, you'll have to find some other way to keep Darnley quiet.
We can wait. There's time for her to change her mind.
No, she won't do that.
How are you so certain?
She made me give her a promise.
She's very persuasive.
Yes, and I keep my promises, Maitland. We'll have to find some other way. Maybe easier when she brings him back here so we can keep an eye on him. She'll go to Glasgow in the morning.
Bothwell goes out of the room.
She hates her husband. She may not even admit it to her. She wants him dead, out of her sight.
Yes, but now Bothwell has withdrawn. Bothwell is more dangerous to us than she is.
No, I agree, much more dangerous. Now we must go back to Morton and persuade him that he is safe. This time we will provide a better scapegoat. A man who has a much stronger motive for killing the girl's husband. Her lover, Bothwell.
Darnley's sickbed. She is emotionally exhausted by the terrible stress of her feelings for Darnley, her revulsion of him, yet also her pity. Darnley stirs.
In a day or so. The doctor says you are much better.
My father thinks I'm foolish to go back to Edinburgh. He's afraid of Murray. I told him I'd be safe while you were with me.
Yes,
Stay with me.
I will.
Later, it is after midnight, and the room is very silent. Darnley is still feverish and sleeps restlessly, turning in his narrow bed, murmuring. The only other sound is the scratching of Mary's pen.
And yet I cannot stop scribbling as long as there is paper. Forgive me if the writing is bad. You'll have to get it off of it. But I'm glad to write to you while other folk are asleep in their beds, seeing that I cannot rest as they do, and cannot be where I desire to be, held close between your arms.
Later still, the door of the room is quietly opened by her lady-in-waiting Fleming. Behind her we see Bothwell's servant Paris, who does not enter with her. Fleming crosses to the table over which Mary has now fallen asleep. But as Fleming's footsteps creak on the wooden floor, Mary wakes with a start. The letter on the table is finished and folded, but it has not been sealed like the others. Mary picks up the stick of wax, softens it in the candle as she instructs Fleming.
Is Paris there?
Yes.
Mary presses her ring to the wax, drops the last letter beside the others. Clumsy through fatigue, she does not notice that the seal does not secure the flap of the folded letter.
Give him these. He's going ahead of us to Edinburgh.
As Fleming leaves and closes the door, she pauses before descending. In her hands is a letter addressed to Bothwell, unsealed. Fleming is still strongly inhibited by loyalty to her mistress, but she is plainly under other instructions. To go to Edinburgh is not much more than a track. The presence of the invalid passenger Darnley makes the going slow. Mary, riding beside the litter, sees a party of mounted men led by Bothwell approaching from the other direction. She advances to meet them. Darnley anxiously appeals to his manservant Taylor.
Who is it?
Bothwell, I think.
Not much more of this. We'll make you more comfortable when you're there. You're not coming into Holyrood?
No. We'll stay at Kirkerfield.
I've asked that rooms be prepared for me there also.
Fine.
Is my brother at Holyrood?
No. Murray left his apologies.
Darnley gets the point of this, smiles wryly. Then he turns and holds a hand out to touch that of his wife, a gesture of affection. Mary's hesitation before she accepts the hand is very slight, but Darnley notices it. And he also notices something else, a reaction of Bothwell, equally fleeting. The house at Kirkerfields has 2 stories. On the lower floor is a room which they keep furnished for the temporary use of Mary. Maitland is there to greet Mary. He waits for Mary to speak first.
Could my brother go to Rome on my behalf?
To ask permission for divorce?
Yes.
Divorce is impossible unless you are willing to change your religion. That will certainly gladden the heart of your cousin Elizabeth in England. Annulment is possible, but it means your child is declared illegitimate and may not inherit.
Maitland, I'm desperate. Find a way.
To be rid of your husband without prejudice to yourself.
There must be a way.
There is, but at a price.
Money?
A sacrifice of another sort. And it involves something of a sort which you have so far refused to consider.
What do you mean?
You asked for my help. You have never treated me as a friend. I could be, but I've already said more than is safe for either of us.
There are lights in the windows, and through the gates arrive groups of guests, dressed for some formal occasion. Bothwell is one of them. As he dismounts, Paris detaches himself from a group of men watching the arrivals. They walk together towards the hitching posts at which the guests leave their mounts with the grooms.
About that matter that was put to you a while back by Maitland and Morton.
The answer is no, lad. Why did you ask me?
Why have they put him in Kirklefields? Why has Murray left? There are too many of the Douglas men about again. And I heard some story that they've been buying gunpowder enough for an army. They've got it stored somewhere in town.
You know where?
No.
This is just guesswork.
Not even that. It's just...
They've not come back to me. And I don't think they'd risk it without me. Tell me if you hear more.
As they approach the banquet hall, Seaton appears from the shadows.
She wants to see you. It's important. She's in her room.
Mary is in the same state of anxiety as when we saw her last. Her thinking is random, illogical, but at least has its own method. She hears Bothwell open the small door of the private stairs. She goes to him quickly.
What happened now?
Oh, I talked to Maitland.
What did he say?
Nothing. Hints. You know how he uses words. But it was in his face. Oh, I think he means to kill Harry. Oh, God, I'm so afraid.
Just keep a hold of yourself, Mary. You're better than this.
If anything happens to him, you'll be next. I know it.
What, you mean feel it or know it for a fact?
Both. Oh, have they found out that we...
I doubt it. Why?
Are you sure?
Of course I'm not sure. How can I be?
Do they have anything as evidence against us? Oh, I shouldn't have left him there tonight. In that house, I should go back. They know I'm to be here tonight.
You're not making sense.
If they can show that you and I are lovers, then they can kill Darnley and blame it on you.
One of us ought to be up there watching him. Just as a precaution.
Two of the Hepburn men, squatting under the wall of the courtyard, are listening to the music that comes from the lighted windows above them.
You, find Paris. Tell him we've gone ahead to Kirkle Fields on foot. Is to bring the horses to the orchard and wait there.
Darnley's room has an enclosed wooden balcony which butts onto the upper level of the Flodden wall, so that the window on it overhangs the lane below. His servant Taylor can't sleep. He opens the window and leans out, listening. Standing over Darnley's bed, he wonders whether to wake his master, but decides not to. Instead, he goes out into the corridor. Halfway down the stairs, he freezes. On the floor below, he hears a murmur of voices. Then there is a flicker of very dim illumination. Then a whisper. Know the voice, but we do. It is Kerr's. Presently a door closes. Taylor waits. He is now in terror. Reaching the floor below, he goes to the exterior door. It is locked on the outside. Taylor moves instantly to another door which leads to the rest of the building. This too is locked and has no key. Outside, the figures of Kerr and some of his Douglas accomplices can be seen in the lane below. In the foreground, we now discover Bothwell hiding with one of his men. He goes through a small window into the house and drops to the floor. Taylor, with unexpected bravery, blocks the way, protecting his master.
Stand back! He's not to be touched!
Idiot. There's no time for clowning. Here.
He draws his short sword and hands it hilt first to Taylor, thus reassuring him. But Darnley still cowers.
What are you going to do?
Get you out.
No, I don't believe you.
Sheets and begins to knot two of them together.
Taylor, we'll let you down first. Watch out for Kerr down there.
Harry and another Hepburn come slowly through the orchard, leading 3 horses.
Get a move on, man.
To climb down the knotted sheets. Then, stumbling away from the tower, Darnley suddenly stops right in the moonlit centre of the lane. Taylor darts back to drag him out of this conspicuous position. Bothwell is about to go after them when the figure of Kerr and a couple of others appear in the distance. Bothwell, trapped, dare not cross the lane till they have gone. Taylor plucks at his sleeve.
Wait. Let's keep together. No. No, I don't believe Bothwell. I know he wants to kill me. Oh, no. You're wrong.
But Darnley has stumbled away. Taylor doesn't know whether to go back or forward. Then he hears a cry from Darnley.
Taylor!
With Bothwell's knife in his hand, Taylor runs after Darnley. He comes on Darnley and another man who is not clearly identifiable in the shadow of the trees. Darnley is in terror, shrinking back from the figure whom he is sure is an enemy. Taylor, passing Darnley, threatens the menacing figure with the knife. The figure at once closes with Taylor. There is hardly a struggle. His assailant has possession of the knife in a moment and in a flash kills Taylor. Hearing Taylor's choking gasp, Darnley turns and runs again. The figure races after him. At this, the flames cast an unearthly light across the orchard. We see now that Darnley and Taylor's assailant is Paris. Bothwell comes running towards him.
Where are they?
Then he sees the figure lying in the long grass at Paris' feet. Bothwell drops to his knees beside it. Darnley is dead, strangled by Paris.
I caught them coming out.
So you killed them?
Yes.
A mixture of several reactions, mostly irony, but also a sort of fatalistic acceptance and relief.
Wasn't that...
It wasn't exactly what I had in mind. But no matter. Maybe it's just as well.
Rises. The house of Kirkerfields is in ruins and the timbers of it are ablaze. In the distance we can now hear the shouting, the spread of alarm.
Just leave him here. It'll puzzle the Douglas. Was that compensation?
Later, in Holyrood Chapel, we find Mary wearing black. She has a very ghastly pallor, but otherwise no sign of emotion whatsoever. She steps forward to look down at Darnley, who lies in state on the bier draped in black velvet. Eventually, Mary turns away. In her bedroom, Mary is removing her mourning headdress as Maitland enters. When she turns to him, her manner is rather shockingly businesslike.
Maitland, in the absence of my brother, I have to turn to you. I'm to receive a deputation. I can guess what they will say. Shock and indignation at the outrage, sympathy for my great distress, concern for the effects of this on England and France. I want it from you in plainer language. What are they asking of me?
That you arrest the man responsible, punish him quickly.
The man? One man?
One will be enough. Your husband was strangled. One pair of hands did that. Oh, I grant you there were others involved, and I could even help you there. We can give you the ones who laid the gunpowder in the cellars, but that was not how he died. Of all the men who had reason to kill your husband, there was only one who was not downstairs at the time when he was murdered. You know his name. So does every man, woman and child in Edinburgh by now. Bothwell.
Mary's equerry, Erskine, has appeared in the doorway.
I'm sorry, Bothwell, he's very insistent.
Tell him no. I will not see him. And, leave us in private, Erskine. To Stirling. When I go, I'm glad to have you as a friend. Would you come with me to Stirling?
There is a gleam in Maitland's eye. Turbulent stream, Mary's party has stopped to rest. They are returning from Stirling, where they have left Mary's child safe from harm. On the far side of the bridge, at a little distance from the others, are Mary and Maitland.
Why must it be Bothwell?
Because he's in love with you. It's a simple, scandalous motive, and therefore very credible to all respectable people. And it could be true. He has been very stupid.
To fall in love with me.
That's how you've been able to control him. But brute courage and muscle aren't rare in this country. You'll find a dozen just as reliable.
He has been loyal to me.
Of course.
When Rizzio was killed, you and Marie expected that my child would die. Bothwell saved me.
No, you remember it wrongly. You saved yourself. And later, I believe that it was you who showed Bothwell the way to turn Murray and Morton against each other. You, and only you, defeated me. That was the moment I began to realise how much I had misjudged you. We have more in common than I think you realise.
Love me.
We've played a game, you and I. A chess game. Bothwell was your piece on the board, Murray has been mine. You think of me as an enemy, but as your enemy, I've learned to understand you better than any of those you call friends. I admire you greatly. I could be of great value to you. In England, your cousin Elizabeth knows how much she owes to Cecil. Together they have made a nation. Why does she hate you? Because you have a better right to be in that position than she. Elizabeth is too old now to have a child. Either you or your child must inherit. You've been talk and you've succeeded. You haven't long to make up your mind.
Horsemen appear on the far side of the river, blocking the road. They gallop forward to meet Maitland and Erskine at the bridge. The first two are Bothwell and Paris.
Bothwell! Why are you in arms? Against whom?
Not you! Not unless you're going to begin it. You won't do that.
Bothwell indicates, as figures of more of the Hepburns are seen, emerging from hiding, closing the circle of the ambush.
What do you want? We'll take the girl off your hand if you've no objection. Or even if she does. Don't be a fool, Erskine. She'll not thank you if you get your throat cut.
You are seizing her under threat of force.
That's right. Maitland will call it rape at any event.
By this you mean to make her appear the innocent one. A helpless victim, very gallant.
If I'm to have such a bad reputation, at least she can have the advantage of it.
Try to look a bit more terrified, lass. You've been kidnapped by the Hepburn, who are thieves and murderers, as you know.
But Mary doesn't respond. She is looking in the direction of Maitland, fearing that Bothwell's gesture must inevitably play into Maitland's hands. The tower. He is at his most earnest and persuasive as Ducroc listens with courtesy.
He killed her husband. He has seized her by force and holds her against her will. I can promise you that, since I myself was a witness and only released because she asked that I should be spared.
Is he still with her?
Well, she is now a prisoner. Obviously a hostage. The ceremony of marriage was obviously performed under duress.
Morton and Kerr enter, newly returned from their pursuit of Bothwell and Mary throughout the lowlands.
If there is one good result of this tragedy, it is what you see here. All our quarrels are forgotten. The whole of Scotland is determined to rescue her from this desperate man.
Tomorrow we will attack. I think we're at the end of it at last.
Scotsman fighting Scotsman needlessly. I beg you to let me go to Bothwell. I will demand he release her unarmed. But may I assure him that providing he leaves this country, he will not be further pursued.
I don't see how we can refuse the French ambassador this most reasonable request. Allow us a few moments. We'll give you a letter for Bothwell. And if I may suggest, you might also take with your escort one of her women, Seaton. Seaton has been at Stirling with the child. She can take news of him to Mary. It would be a kindness.
Ducroc withdraws, impressed by Maitland's consideration for a mother's feelings.
Bothwell still has his copy of the bond we signed. If you let him escape...
Care, the Seaton... important. Accept it.
Why not? All he has to do
might accept it. She can't. Seaton will get a message to her, a verbal message from me.
They stare at him. He is opening a small box, unlocking it, to produce a document that was seen before in Glasgow. Mary's love letter to Bothwell.
I went with her to Stirling. You remember? She tried to make me think she needed my help, but every day she tried to find out one thing: what evidence we had. The letter was written a week or so before Bothwell killed her husband. We show this to 3 people. To John Knox, to Ducroc, and to Cecil in England. and in 3 countries the girl will be exposed as an adulteress and accomplice in the murder of her sick husband.
I've sent for Seaton. She's on her way.
Be exposed in Darnley's murder.
Precisely. So Seaton tells her that she must get it from Bothwell and help us to seize him. On that condition only will we guarantee to destroy this.
What will you do to her?
Oh, if Bothwell is out of the way and no further suspicion attaches to us, then I think we need not be too hard on her.
What about Murray, then?
Murray isn't here. On my advice, he went to France. I consider we have a free hand in his absence. You'd better let me see Seaton on my own.
Are you so sure she'll give Bothwell up?
She is not a fool. That girl has the chance to be Queen of England and Scotland both, but only if she makes her peace with me. Seaton, sit down.
Letter. Sleep in his tent on Carberry Hill. Mary, sitting at his side, is awake, but her hair is loose, and the bodice of her dress, a coarse spun garment, is unfastened. Through the gap in the doorway of the tent, we can see a narrow vista of the Hepburn army. They are camped on high ground. 1 or 2 smouldering fires can be seen smoking under the trees, and the women camp followers are cooking stolen eggs on the skillets. The men, squatting on their haunches and wrapped in their tartans, are tired, but in good spirits. Mary rises quietly as she notices Paris approaching.
Are they moving on us?
Not yet, but there's a party.
What is it, Paris?
Ducroc is on his way up the hill. There's a party with him. One of them's a woman. They're carrying a white flag.
How come? Ambassador from France seeing you skipping about the heather in your shift.
Why not? You said I looked bonny.
You've got no shame.
None. I'd follow you to the end of the world wearing less.
We'll discuss that later. Stay with her, Paris.
Expression change.
Paris.
Yes?
The men don't want to fight, do they? No, you can tell the truth. They'd follow him as far as I would, but it's not their quarrel.
We've got more to fight for than the others. We'll not let Morton and Maitland get their hands on you again.
Mary sees some figures who are advancing towards the tent. One is a woman.
Seton! Paris, bring her to me.
On a trickling stream, and on the distant ridge we can make out some tents, flags, the smoke of other campfires, indications of the army pursuing Bothwell. Bothwell now addresses Ducroc, who is accompanied by one of Maitland's men.
I'd always taken you for an honest man, Ducroc. What are you doing running errands for these conniving hypocrites?
No, this was my own proposal.
They must have agreed to it.
They did.
Then there's a catch to it.
If you accept, I swear to you that I will use all my influence to see that they don't go back on it.
Yeah, I'm glad to see you don't trust them. But why did you suggest this?
To avoid needless bloodshed.
Raising his voice for Maitland's man's benefit.
No. The answer is no. I'm called a murderer. But there may be 1 or 2 who'll give me the benefit of the doubt. They are proved murderers. What kind of security is this you're asking for her? To be delivered back into the hands of those who've tried to kill her once already? Tell them I'm ready to settle this in private, between old friends.
Has delivered Maitland's message that he has Mary's love letter to Bothwell. The impact of it is such that these weeks as Bothwell's mistress are now forgotten.
How? How did they get it?
Fleming. I gave it to Fleming. And you, Seton, what do you think? Did I help them kill Harry?
No. I don't believe I don't know.
But I had a share in it. Didn't I?
Outside, we hear Bothwell returning. Mary steels herself for what she knows she now has to do.
He's ashamed of me. Has Ducock gone?
Yes.
What did Ducock propose?
A lot of nonsense. They're using him for some game that I don't...
Did he want to see me?
Yes, but...
You refused him?
Yes? What's the matter with you?
Because you were afraid I might accept.
He wanted me to hand you over. In return, he said they'd let me run to Europe.
Why didn't you agree?
Are you out of your senses?
Would Morton receive me with dignity and promise to protect my child?
Well, he'll promise you the moon till he gets his hands on you. If you give yourself up to him now, you'll never see freedom for the rest of your life. What has Seaton been telling you?
That the whole of Europe calls you my husband's killer. And the longer I stay with you, the more plain it is that I was your accomplice. You did kill Harry, didn't you?
No.
That is a lie and not the first.
I did not kill him.
You wanted him dead.
I did not kill him.
But you wanted him dead.
I never denied that. Dead. But I was not the one who killed him.
Then who did? Running away. You've no hope of winning. The men don't want to fight, you know that. If you disperse them now, you will have some chance to escape. If you make a stand here, you'll be slaughtered.
No. I'm getting reinforcements from Huntley. We'll withdraw if we need. But time's on our side. It's they that can't afford to wait.
I want you to send for Ducock.
I can't. He's gone back to Edinburgh.
Then bring his man. He can arrange my surrender to Morton.
What if these men are your enemies? You walked straight into their trap. I've no time to waste arguing with you. Paris, hold her here. Don't let her out of your sight. Don't let them talk to her.
See him again.
Don't let Bothwell see you, but go after Maitland's man. Tell him I will accept their terms.
Bothwell is some distance from the tents, talking to a scout. He becomes aware of some movement of Hepburn's. They are reacting to something moving through the trees towards the brow of the hill.
Somebody says she's giving herself up.
Bothwell turns, races up the hill through the trees. Looking down towards the stream in the valley, we can see Morton's party. They are already across and are starting up the other side. Bothwell, in helpless rage, runs a few yards down the slope. He turns and sees Paris. He hurls himself on the boy, striking him to the ground, and snatches a dirk to stab him. Paris makes no gesture to defend himself. But Bothwell cannot kill.
Why? Why?
Through the gates of Holyrood at the head of a mounted group. Dismounting, he addresses a Douglas henchman.
When they've brought her inside, close the gates. I don't want the mob in here.
Listens with sweat, but he does not seem to be drunk. Moving towards the window, almost dreading to look out, he sees Mary. Uncombed. He is walking in the centre of a squad of men who enter the yard, coming to a halt below the tower. Thrown at her, clatters on the flagstones at her feet. Startled, she almost loses her footing, but recovers at once. And had expected to see something heart-renderingly pitiful. Not so. What he sees strikes into his heart an emotion that is a stranger to him. Awe, because the girl is in no way sorry for herself. End of a long journey. She has no prayer on her lips. Nobody can impress her now. Life has done its worst. She is unmoved, incorruptible, silent, and unafraid. And ultimately, all that remains for her is imprisonment in England and an Elizabethan executioner's block.
Mary Queen of Scots. Morton, Bill Patterson, Bothwell, Eamon Elliott, Darnley, Edward Holcroft, Murray, Kevin Guthrie, Ruthven and Ducroc, Struan Roger, Harris, Jamie Quinn, Mary Seaton and Mary Fleming, Catherine O'Donnelly. The narrator was Glenda Jackson. Other parts were played by members of the company. The music was composed by Hutch de Moupier. Mary Queen of Scots by Alexander MacKendrick and J. Presson Allen was directed by Hope Dixon Leach. It was produced by Peter Attedgy and Lawrence Bowen and was a Dancing Ledge production for BBC Radio 4.